Okay, let's make some spacer beads. Don't forget to put your thumb on the smallest sleeve of the electric mandrel spinner. Keep it from being pushed inside. Going to check to make sure everything is straight. Looks good, no wobble. Heating up my mandrel and heating up the glass at the same time. Just a little gatherer for these little guys. As soon as I touch the glass to the mandrel, it pulls the glass on. Try to pull away as smoothly as possible. And I'm just going to go down the line, starting with the small footprint. And then I'll go back and add a little bit of glass to the first few beads. Keep going. Don't forget to go back and do a little bit of an insurance heat every once in a while, adding a little bit more glass to each one. See the smallest gather, and you pull away before the gather is completely gone. That keeps you from getting stuck. You work really, really hot. Insurance heat. Adding a little bit more to each bead, making them all a little bit bigger. So heating up the bead that's got a big wobble and using a rod that doesn't have a gather, you can help pull it back into round. It's still a bit wobbly, but let's see what we can do about it. You're pulling away from the bead as smoothly as you possibly can to keep it centered. I think that's pretty good. Now we're just gonna a little bit of insurance heat and we are done with this. Putting my thumb on the last sleeve, pulling it straight out, using my hand to pull it out the rest of the way. Now we're going to do an earring pair, 2-on-1 mandrel, and they kind of mirror each other in shape. So we're going to put 2 beads on one mandrel. They're going to be about 1 inch apart to start with. Build up the size a little bit, straighten out the bead a little bit. I like to do one bead and then go back to the other bead and let it set up a little bit so it's a little firmer, and then you're only working on the outer edge of the bead. So you heat up the outer edge of the bead, let the center stay a little cool so it kind of keeps its shape. My favorite tool with checking sizes is to use this CG bead roller. I start with the biggest slot and move up from there. Kind of tightens everything up and gets it all in order. Checking the sizes. Obviously they're not the exact same size, so we're going to add to each bead. Just working on the outer edge of the bead, adding a little strip of glass. We're going to check the size again. They both fit in that second slot. I'm going to heat up both beads really nice, start rounding out a bit, and then I'm going to use the graphite marver to flatten them both at the same time. And you'll see they move together a little bit as well as moving out, which is why you keep them an inch apart or so. Just trying to get them same thickness, same length. Now I keep a little piece of glass on my torch mounted marver, and I use it to check the length from the edge of the marver to the glass. So I can check the length on both pieces and they look really good. So here we go with the rolling mandrel. I'm shaping it. All I'm doing is heating up the outer edge of the bead and pulling it down into the slot of the rolling marver to give it a nice curve, nice taper, and there you go. Here's an ivory pair I'm going to add some fine silver wire to. This is 30 gauge fine silver wire. I heat the bead on one little section and heat the wire really quick and touch them to each other, and then I roll it around the bead and cut it off with the flame. And then I'm going to do the other bead, just heating one part, touching the wire, rolling it around, cutting it off with the flame. Now I'm going to heat up each bead separately. So I'm going to watch the bead for about 4 seconds, count of 4, and then I'm going to hit it with the marvers, push in those dots a little bit. And that is it. Such a simple decoration. Here are those beads. And here's what you can do with them.